Hello, welcome to this video called Introducing Jesus. Actually, it's going to be a series of videos. I want us to look at the testimonies of John chapter 1. This first chapter of John is an introduction to the whole gospel. And what we get throughout the chapter is a sequence of testimonies pointing to Jesus and telling us who he is. And so here's the outline. We've got the prologue, we've got the testimonies that follow after that. And in this video, I just want to take us into the prologue. There's so much that we could say in the first 18 verses, but I just want us to notice the witnessing or the testimony that is there for us. Okay, and what we're going to find is that this testimony is actually setting up what comes after. So let's jump into it. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. And so John is immediately introducing us to a whole set of themes here. The Word, this expression of God that is God, that was with God in the beginning. All of this statement here about the Word is going to kind of set us up to think this is going to be all about the Word, and it is. It's all about the person of Jesus, but the label, the Word, is going to be set aside here because he wants to go with this one here, the light of men. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. So let's just follow that through. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to bear witness about the light, that all might believe through him. He was not the light, but he came to bear witness about the light. Okay, so John is the testimony that we're going to find here. Let me just change the color to flag this up. He came as a witness to bear witness about the light with the goal that all might believe through him. Okay, and he was not the light but came to bear witness about the light. It's emphasizing his role as the one who is bringing witness about the light that is coming into the world. Now, what does he say? What is his witness? Well, at this point, we're not told anything. We need to keep going. And so verse 9, we've got the true light, which gives light to everyone, was coming into the world. He, notice that the he's here, we know it's Jesus, but the he's are referring to the light. He was in the world was made through him. We've seen that already right at the beginning. Yet the world did not know him. He came to his own, and his own people did not receive him. All these hymns are referring to the light. But to all who did receive him, who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of flesh, nor of the will of man, but of God. That's the mission of this being, this person who is the light. And so where's the testimony? Well, it comes in the next paragraph. And that's interesting because the next paragraph really shifts back from this focus on the light back to the Word. We're told the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we have seen his glory as of the only Son from the Father, full of grace and truth. There's a whole set of references and allusions and hints in this paragraph that go right back to the Old Testament. Sometime we'll make a separate video just to try to flag those up for us. But in the midst of this paragraph, we're taken back to John, the one who's bearing witness to the light. And we're told John bore witness about him. And so let's kind of pull away the rest of the paragraph and just focus in on this statement here. And you might think, well, why is it being written here? Why not say it back in verses 6, 7, 8 when we're told about John? Well, John is introduced in verses 6, 7, 8 as the one who's bearing witness about the light. He himself is not the light, he's bearing witness about it. But it's not until we come further through the prologue that we get this statement, and it feels like it doesn't fit. verses 14 to 16 flow naturally without verse 15 in the middle. It's placed in parentheses and brackets, but I think it's deliberately placed here. It's like a stepping stone. We've been introduced to John as a witness, but the focus is completely on the Son, or on the light, as he's referred to in this section. And now in this paragraph, the focus is on the Word become flesh, same person. But while the testimony has not been the focus, it's going to be. It's going to almost be as if the spotlight shifts onto John in the next section that we're going to look at in the next video. And there we're going to see his testimony, which of course is going to point us to Jesus. But here, as a sort of a little hint of what's to come, as a stepping stone, the gospel writer John has given us a little hint of the testimony of John. And it's a fascinating statement that he makes here. It ties back to some of what's been said already in the prologue. So we've got John bore witness about him. And he cried out, "This was he of whom I said," then notice what he says, "He who comes after me ranks before me, because he was before me." It seems a bit cumbersome, but what he's saying is this: the person coming after me, so kind of chronologically subsequent to me, the one who's coming after me, ranks before me. In English, we'd almost want to say ranks above me, but then you'd lose the play on words, right? So he ranks before me, like whatever level I'm at, he's above that. He's before that. And so John the Baptist is saying, not in any sense do I want you to think of me as being before and therefore superior. No, I'm coming before to prepare the way for the superior one. And why is he superior? Because he was chronologically before me. And so the Word who was with God in the beginning, the one through whom everything was made, the true light coming into the world, this pre-existent light, pre-existent Word, the one who was with God at the beginning, that is the one that John is talking about. And because he was in existence before John the Baptist, therefore he ranks before John the Baptist. He needs to be considered the most important. And so even within the prologue, John the Baptist is pointing us to the significance of Jesus because of his eternal nature, because he was there from before the beginning. Next time, we're going to look at John the Baptist's testimony and see what he has to say about Jesus.